So hey guys, welcome to the Warframe video, and Baro has come once again, and this time around he landed on the Orcus Relay on Pluto. Now right off the bat we have some spicy new stuff, the Prisma Oma. This is a Mastery Rank 12 pair of Tonfas that do primarily electricity damage with very high 30% crit chance and above average 2.2 times crit multiplier and a solid status chance of 20%, and they have solid attack speed of 1. These look pretty good. I'm gonna make a full video about these probably on Sunday, so if you're looking for a new spicy melee weapon, definitely pick these up. After that we have a bunch of primed mods, starting off with primed pressure point for 165% bonus melee damage, which is followed by primed pistol gambit for 187% bonus crit chance for pistols, as well as primed quick draw for 88% faster reload speed on pistols. He also brought the Machete Wraith, which is a very solid Mastery Rank 11 machete. It's actually one of the best machetes in the game. It has solid crit and status chance, and it does primarily slash damage. Moving on from there we have the Argyle Display, which is a very unusual display for your landing craft, which leads us to the last primed mod, which is primed Bane of Corrupted, which at maximum rank gives you 55% bonus damage to corpus on rifles. Then comes a full armor set, specifically the Katira armor set, the basic one, so we have the shoulder plates, the chest plate and the leg plates. This is a pretty basic armor set that looks decent enough on most Warframes, but it specifically looks very good on Vauban and Vauban Prime. Next on the menu we have the Scimitar Prisma skin, which is probably my least favorite Prisma skin out of all the landing craft ones, but it still looks pretty nice. This is one of the landing crafts where I actually prefer the Tau Sun Skin. Then comes a tiny little cosmetic for the operator and drifter in the form of the Katira solo earpiece. This is a Katira themed earring for just one ear, and the reason I say that is because there is also a version that gives you earrings for both ears. The one thing that's a little bit disappointing about this earring is that the secondary color doesn't change an awful lot. It's barely noticeable. Moving on to the second page, where we start off with the Katira Diaxian Dana. This, just like most of the Katira themed cosmetics, looks fine on most Warframes, but it looks exquisite on Vauban and Vauban Prime. Next up we have the Optical Alexis skin, which just like all the other Alexis skins looks absolutely fabulous. Alexis skins are just superb no matter what you put them on. Then comes yet another weapon, and it's the Zylock. This is a Mastery Rank 6 secondary pistol with a lot of very confusing stats, but it's essentially a Son of Sybaris. So let us move on to the Prismarostam Kubrow armor. This is, in my opinion, one of the best looking Kubrow armors in the entire game. The only downside of this armor is that you have to use a Kubrow in order to use it, which most people don't. Most people either run a Sentinel, a Moa, or a Kavat. Next on the list we have some orbiter decoration in the form of the Dvad Luxum ornament as well as the Pospa Luxum ornament. These aren't very big, but they're also not that expensive, which makes them perfect as clutter for your orbiter, just to spice it up a little bit. Moving on to the Ignis Tau Sun Skin. This is one of the Tau Sun skins that actually looks really good. It has a ton of detail and it makes the weapon look brand new. It also just looks really nice if you pick the right colors for it. Then comes our first emblem, the Glaring Emblem, aka the Kubrow Emblem. This is something you can just put on your Warframe shoulderenos, and it's just a nice looking emblem, I think. Then comes our first ephemera, the Katira ephemera, which is actually fairly cheap. Now it is pretty basic, it just makes the Katira symbol appear around your Warframe, but I don't think it looks that bad. So let's move on to the next item, which is the Imperium Vignette. This is for like the personal quarters in your orbiter, and I think it looks really nice. I like it far more than the aquarium. And we're slowly nearing the end with the Lunar Renewal Rabbit emblem. This one's a little bit more colorful than the Kubrow one, which is just white, so it might be better or worse depending on the style of fashion frame you're going for. And the last cosmetic on the menu is the Feypath ephemera, which is very cheap, and there is a reason for that. It is a very basic ephemera, but it still looks pretty nice. It's better than no ephemera. He also brought the Sons of Inaros questline blueprint, which is the item you need if you want to get Inaros, and if you approach him as Inaros, he will also sell you the Baro Void Signal. Now, as far as this week's recommendations go, I would definitely pick up Primed Pistol Gambit because you get a ton of crit chance with no loss of fire rate, which is the big benefit of that one. And I would consider picking up Primed Pressure Point as well, though that one can be substituted with Condition Overload and Sacrificial Pressure. Outside of that, if you're a big sweaty nerd or nerdette that likes to squeeze the absolute maximum out of their weapons, definitely pick up Primed Bane of Corpus, because that is a massive multiplier for any weapon that it applies to. And I also kind of want to recommend the Prisma Oma, because I remember the normal Oma being pretty good, and it's also a unique weapon that you can only get from Baro, and if you don't get it now and you want to get it later, you're either gonna have to wait for Baro to get it again, or you're gonna have to buy it from other people with plat. And that is pretty much it for Baro this week, so I thank you very much for watching. As always guys, I hope you've enjoyed the video and found it helpful. I would like to extend a special thank you to all the channel members. Thank you very much guys, I really appreciate it. And if you would like to become a channel member as well, you can check out the memberships and stuff down below. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye.